In this video, I will demonstrate how to create a terrain from the Surveyor's Select Series 4 field map. I will use the graphical filter to import graphics from a survey field map. I will then review the newly created terrain for elevations obviously outside of range. I'm going to begin with a new design file that will serve as my terrain file created from the appropriate seed file. Now this is necessary because we're bringing in a Select Series 4 file that has a different file structure or schema than OpenRoads Designer. So I'm going to key in my file name. Once my design file is open, I'm going to navigate to the Home tab, Primary Group, Attach Tools, and I'm going to attach my reference file. Attach my field map. Let's fit. When I select my reference file, if you have really large text in your reference file, you may need to select the Use Active Annotation Scale and the Scale Align Style by Reference Scale. I'm going to right click on my reference file, merge into master, have a prompt to select View for Merge. I'm going to left click, select OK. This will take a few seconds. Once the file has been merged to master, you will see that the file listed in my references will disappear. It has disappeared, so my file has been merged. I'm going to navigate to my compress options and compress my file. Once my file is compressed, I'm going to navigate to Terrain, Graphical Filter, and from Graphical Filter. With my Create Terrain from Graphics dialog box displayed, I'm going to navigate to the Graphical Filter group. I'm going to select the ellipse. I'm going to select SS4 to ORD. I'm going to select the preview. This will highlight the features that my terrain will be created from. Now I'm going to select rotate here and just take a look at these features, and note that there's a few features here that are well below my actual terrain. These are actually buildings that are at 0. If I hover, it gives me the level existing topo building. So what I'm going to do is navigate to my graphical filter manager, existing topo, edit filter, levels. I'm going to select buildings and remove. I'm going to select finish and finish. Now I'm going to navigate back to my graphical filter. I'm going to select my SS4 to ORD. I'm going to select preview, and we now see that those buildings are not selected and they won't be added to my terrain, causing my triangulation to drop down to 0. Within the dialog box, ensure that maximum triangle length is selected. The triangle length is 150. My feature definition is set to existing boundary, as is my terrain name. With those items populated, I'm going to left click through my prompts to accept. My terrain has been created. I'm going to escape out of my command. I'm going to select the perimeter of my terrain, hover until I see my context menu, and I'm going to turn on my triangles, and I can see that my triangles look great. Now, if there's a need to edit your terrain, you can use the edit model and delete points and triangles as needed. I'm going to set my rotation to top. And at this point, I'm going to navigate to Explore. I'm going to expand my file name, terrain, existing terrain boundary. I'm going to right click on the graphical filter. I'm going to detach the source from terrain model. I'm also going to hover over my terrain, and I'm going to also deactivate rule. With that done, because this is my active terrain file, I'm going to delete the graphics that I used to create my terrain. So I'm going to navigate to element selection. I'm going to select all, and this will take just a little bit. With all selected, I'm going to select subtract, and I'm going to subtract my existing boundary. With my existing boundary subtracted from my selection, I'm just going to select delete, the delete key from my keyboard. My graphics have now been deleted. I'm going to select my element selection, and I'm going to select new, select my terrain, and now I'm going to turn on my triangles. Check my rotation once again. And it looks as though there may be one point that I should delete. I'm going to go into tentative. That elevation actually looks okay. And I now have my final terrain. I'm going to compress once again, since we have deleted quite a bit of graphics from this file.